Every so often I stumble upon something that I think is actually quite cool. This is one of those things. It's I'm not sure how popular this is. I've only seen this in obscure corners of the internet, but I actually think it is kind of underselling itself and is actually quite interesting. Doesn't look like much, does it? This is a pack of, I think, 10 frames. They're sort of floating artifact frames, essentially. It's just 2 pieces of sort of square plastic with a hinge. You open it like this. Quite satisfying, actually, especially when all this this material is stuck together. Some sort of like thin plastic. Look at this. Oh, that's quite satisfying. But the idea is you just put stuff in the middle and close it. And then what you have is basically a sort of floating item that lives in the middle of the picture frame. What's cool is though, I mean in addition to what I've just described, because there's a bit of give in this material, it's possible to kind of close in stuff that's much thicker than the actual frame itself. So you can use it for all sorts of stuff. And when you display it, it just looks like the thing is floating in the air. Quite cool that, I think. I think that's pretty cool. So I've just been using these just to kind of store and display all the sort of weird little artifact item trinkets that I have lying around my apartment. So for example, crossover episode, this is a meteorite that I got from the internet. It's now on display. It's now with its little certificate of authenticity. The little meteorite is there just floating around. And yeah, it's pretty sweet, simple way of displaying stuff. This is a fingerboard, which I had lying around, made like a custom top to. Now it's floating around in my artifact display case and, you know, displayed with pride. So I think these are actually pretty cool. Very, very versatile. You can put almost anything in them and they're reusable. So if you get bored of one thing, you can just stick something else in there. I think this is quite an interesting take on the concept of a picture frame or just a frame in general. I always find it interesting when there's late stage product innovation, meaning a product that's been around for a long time, picture frames have been around for probably hundreds of years, and there's some new take on it that makes them kind of interesting. So I like products in this category and I would definitely put this in that category. And they're not very expensive either. I think I picked this up for around probably less than $1 per frame, so not too bad at all. If you are like me and have a load of weird little trinkets, weird little stuff lying around and looking for a way to kind of declutter perhaps and display them, just sort of show them off, I'd recommend checking these out, or at least playing around with them. You definitely really can't go wrong with them for that price. They took a little bit of time to arrive. I think they were shipped from China, but other than that, I really like them. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Every week we post 2 new videos now of where we find something on the internet, buy something, and then unbox it, mess around with it, and give our sort of personal take on it. Oftentimes they're absurd products, sometimes they're pretty useful and pretty interesting, but hopefully either way they're somewhat entertaining and you get something out of it. Anyway, see you in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. This video was brought to you by DeadeyeClub.com, makers of the Wishbone EDC slingshot. Head over there now and consider picking up their $100 Mischief kit, which includes everything you'd need to start shooting a slingshot. The Wishbone itself, 3 replacement band sets, and some ammo. It's the most fun you can have for $100 and you'll be supporting the channel.